Well, hey, beauty, welcome. Come on in. I always save you a spot. This is your chance to drop out of your busy mind, step away from the noise, and tap into calm with me and the emotional freedom technique, EFT tapping, which is known and proven over 300 peer-reviewed studies so far, proven how it reduces stress, relaxes your nervous system, allows your body to heal itself and release emotional and physical pain and bring you clarity and oh, so much more. I was writing up a list the other day for a class and I filled the page with all the things that you can use it for. So just take this moment to give yourself permission to come into calm. And all you need is responsibility for your own well-being and your fingertips. As you follow along with me and tap where I tap, say what I say, and see how you feel. Just tapping in a regular way on a daily basis, as often as you can remind yourself, because sometimes in the beginning you really do have to remind yourself that you have this amazing tool right here. And the more frequently that you do it, the more it can transform your life like it has mine. So we're also using affirmational tapping, which is very different from the coaching work that I do and the deeper things that I write about and work with people on. But this is designed to help you feel better no matter what's going on around you in your world. And we know none of us are escaping the stress of today. So give yourself that moment with me. And we're using oracle cards to get that little affirmational message that we can use for tapping. And so today we're using messages from the spirits of nature. And this is by Dr. Stephen D. Farmer. So notice that beautiful image on the cover and nature. How beautiful can you get, right? So we simply ask for the collective. What do we need to know today for the highest good of all and the greatest joy of all? Whenever, if you ever use oracle cards or other divination tools, whether it's praying, crystals, fragrances, essential oils, many other methods, meditation, when you ask the question of spirit, God, source, universe, you ask open-ended questions and always add for the highest good and greatest joy of all. So you can ask, what do I need to know about this situation, this person, right? So today, that's what do we need to know for the collective today? What does Spirit have to show us today that we need to tune into? All right, let's see what we've got. Water. Lifeblood. Water is more and more important. I'm hearing more and more messages about water, that it's truly liquid crystal. And it carries messages for us. It is lifeblood. And if you do anything, remind yourself about water. You can bless the water that you drink, the water you shower with, the water you look at. I'm on a river. And just give it blessing. Give it gratitude. Thank the Spirit, God, universe, Mother Earth for this water. It is more and more and more important for us. And in our lives, particularly being stressed, you want to hydrate and drink as much water as you can to really keep your vibrancy going. Your ability to handle anything starts with water. Okay, so let's see what the guidebook says. I know that this particular deck often has long descriptions. Okay, let me find it. I just dropped the card. And hold on one second. I'm so sorry. I need to find it. So it has a number, which if you've been with me at all, you know that some of the people who do decks don't use numbers, and I have to use my alphabet. And even then, sometimes they don't go alphabetical, and it can get pretty funny. But we're going on to number 41, which equates to a 5, which is all about change. And, you know, that's what's happening right now. And 2026 is upon us. So let's read this message and see what it brings us. Okay, so hang on. Show this to you again. I may not hold it the whole time because of the message being long, but I think I can here. Water is one of the 4 primary elements. It is so essential that no life would exist without it. It shows up in a multitude of visible and non-visible expression, from grandmother ocean to the blood in your body. It's required to lubricate joints, support digestion, regulate body temperature, help your brain function optimally, and excrete waste. For the planet, it plays a complex role in regulating and balancing the ecosystem through its collaboration with the other primary elements of earth, air, and fire. Okay, so let me go switch hands a little bit here. I can see water has also served as a centerpiece of symbolic and religious rituals for humans for thousands of years, cross-culturally, in which it's used to honor the sacred value of life and the spiritual dimension of purification, protection, and healing. It's too often taken for granted until there is a scarcity, at which point it activates the survival instinct that compels all organisms to immediately seek it out. It is truly the lifeblood for the planet and all its physical beings. There's a message. Pause for a few moments and quietly contemplate how water miraculously courses through your entire body, saturating and nourishing it in so many different ways. Consider how essential it is to all living beings and to Mother Earth herself, circulating naturally throughout the planet. Notice how there's been a lack of that same natural fluidity in both your physical movements and in the trajectory of your life. Yeah, does that happen sometimes? Of course. That's because you're holding in a lot of emotion that has yet to be acknowledged and released. In other words, you're dammed up and constricted as your body cooperates in your efforts to hold back your feelings. You're also noticing how this has affected your day-to-day functioning as well, and you're carrying out your tasks rather stiffly and with a lack of ease. This happens when we shove our emotions down, and we always will say, I have too much to do, never mind that, and we push them further down and ignore and deny and then bury it. And this happens over a lifetime. There's a lot of it there. And that's what I specialize in coaching. We go very, very safely, layer by layer, to release and allow that part of us to voice itself and to be released. So make it a point to drink water to nourish your body and soul. It will remind you of the critical importance of this lifeblood, as well as the need to remain emotionally fluid. Before drinking your first glass of water upon awakening, pour a little on the ground as an expression of gratitude to Mother Earth. Well, inside we might do this in a plant, or if you can open a window or something. But here where I am, where there's snow and ice outside, I'm not going out with water. Move a little slower and more gracefully through the day. We are being asked to do this now for sure. Reminding yourself how water is so pervasive and so vital to your well-being that it deserves to be honored as a sacred gift. Give yourself opportunities to allow the expression of emotions that are behind the attempts to dismiss or disguise them. Let the tears of grief flow so that the tears of joy may follow. And this is so important. Water is the symbol of emotion. And we know that EFT is emotional freedom technique. So when you tap even on one point, you can breathe and release the emotions that are coming up. So today, let's just do a little tapping now. I want you to tune into your body for a moment and see where you're holding the stress that you carry. Just take a breath, and from the top of your head to your toes, feel out where you may be feeling constriction and unease, stiffness, tightness, any aches and pains, anything feeling off. Notice where that is and see how intense it feels. 0 to 10, with 10 being over the top. And just feel into that. Where is it? How intense is it? And we're going to do some tapping to release some of that. And even if this message doesn't resonate with you, your body knows what to release. The simple act of tapping, even without words, helps you release that and let it go. Okay, so let's do that. Let me find a passage we can work with, or it'll come to me intuitively for sure. Take a nice breath and pause. And we're going to start at the eyebrow point as usual. I am open to drinking water, side of the eye, to nourish my body and soul. Under eye, it reminds me, under nose, of the critical importance, chin, of this lifeblood, collarbones, as well as the need to remain emotionally fluid. Underarm, before I drink my first glass of water, top of head, I will bless it. Eyebrow, and I will pour a little gratitude into that glass, side of the eye, and every water that I drink or use. Under eye, and even pour it in a plant if I'm able. Under nose, as an expression of gratitude, chin, to Mother Earth. The collarbones, I am open to moving more slowly and gracefully through my day. Underarm, and remind myself how water is so pervasive. Top of the head, and so vital to my well-being. It deserves to be honored as a sacred gift. Eyebrow, and I remember my emotions that flow like water, side of the eye, and I allow myself to let them flow, under eye, to be released as I tap, as a breath, chin, a sigh, collarbones, a tear, all for the greatest good of all. Third eye, so it is, amen. So remember, everyone, drink your water, do some tapping. You are loved. I see your light. I see your beauty. Shine brightly.